Lackamore had chosen it online, reading all the reviews and details and photos. He had picked Camp McCourt over Paul Bunyan's across the lake or Cubby Lodge, which had great breakfast but no direct lake access. He had looked up the cabins on Google Earth, checking out at the views to find out from which he could best see the library. No! We aren't at that part of the story yet. I didn't know what Dr. Leo Lackamore was looking at, not that night. I only knew that there was a man at Eagle's Nest who had seen me spying. I only knew my butt was fried if my mom found out. But I also knew that there was something about his face, that total and utter look of sadness and despair, that I had seen before. I crept back up to the window as slowly as possible. Dr. Leo Lackamore, then just a dude, one whose name I didn't know and thought I never would, was not looking at me anymore. He wasn't looking at the lake either. He was staring at the sky. Mom? I slunk into the office, which my grandparents had converted from a garage. What, hon? She kept her eyes focused on the computer. I thought you were going stargazing with Daddy. I am. I just wanted to know, who's staying in Eagle's Nest? I don't know. You can look in the database. Why? Just wondering. I spotted them moving in. He looked kind of familiar. I pulled out the spare laptop and brought up our guest tracking software. Abigail, Mom said tiredly, tell me you were not snooping through that telescope. Some accidental snooping may have occurred, I muttered, clicking on the Eagle's Nest file. Mom was the only one who called me Abigail. I hated it. We're going to get the cops called on us one of these days, Mom said, shaking her head. Enough with the peeping Thomasina act. It was an accident. I knocked the telescope out of place. Scrolling. Finally, a name. Dr. Leo Lackamore, paid in cash. Dad popped his head in. He was wearing a backward baseball cap and holding 2 sweatshirts. Ready, Abs? We took off toward Fish Trap Park, where we could set up our telescope without any cabin lights getting in the way. As we walked past Eagle's Nest, I glanced in the window, but the guy I now knew to be Dr. Leo Lackamore wasn't there. Instead, there was a tall black woman pacing the porch. She was older than Blair, but not as old as my mom. Excuse me. The woman stopped abruptly and bounded down the steps. Are you the owner of this place? Dad smiled. That would be me. Gary McCourt. He held out his hand and she shook it. My dad liked a firm handshake, and I could tell she delivered one. Simone Sinclair, we have an issue, she said, looking concerned. An issue? Asked Dad. There's a raccoon under the porch. She pointed. We heard him all night scratching at the door, trying to get in. Said Dad slowly. A raccoon issue. A big, fat, angry raccoon issue. That's when I knew. Dr. Leo Lackamore and Simone Sinclair? They weren't from Wisconsin. Mom and Dad always rolled their eyes at the tourists who came and were surprised at things like raccoons or coyotes. What do they want us to do, Gary? Mom had asked 1,000,000 times. Go out with a slingshot and personally eliminate every mosquito in the Northern Hemisphere? You're in the woods. We have bugs here. I don't mean to cause, a problem. It's just really keeping my boss up all night, said Simone. And when he's up all night, he's not exactly a joy to be around. You know what I'm saying? I do, said Dad seriously. But the raccoon hasn't gotten into the cabin? Well, no. But its nest or something has to be under the porch. Den, said Dad. What? Raccoons live in dens, not nests, he said. But your point has been noted. I'll get someone over here first thing tomorrow morning to do a clean sweep. Thank you, she said, pressing her hands together. I really appreciate it. Seriously. We kept walking, mostly in silence. I liked the nighttime lake noises, the loons calling and the waves lapping and the thump-thump of our footsteps. When we got